How are you? It's another episode to learn. And in today's show, we are talking about mental health. Everyone is talking about mental health, mental health. My mental health is not okay. And we want to talk about more about it. And today's show, we have a psychologist. And on today's topic is life after loss. When you hear about loss, the first thing that comes into your mind is like death of someone. But in today's show, we are not talking about death, is loss. Maybe you have lost a job, lost a relationship that you invested so much, or a career, a business that you lost so much, and you feel like it's the end of the world. And in today's show, we have a shrink, psychologist herself, that are going to dive deeper about the topic of life after loss. Let's welcome Anne Mwaniki in the show. Karibu sana.
Thank you for having me. My name is Anne Mwaniki. I'm a psychologist and my strong interest is on mental health and emotional well-being. I basically just help people navigate through life experiences, life and changes, and become better version of themselves. So thank you for having me here. And I believe the topic today is interesting for everybody watching. And let's learn together something.
Yay, karibu. So why I chose this topic on today's show, in our day-to-day life, unakuta mtu anapata loss, maybe loss of a spouse, loss of a not even death, loss of a job, loss of something that you really invested in, and you feel like, I cannot do it anymore. And then when you go talking to someone like friends, maybe they had undergone something like a divorce or a separation, they're like, hiyo ni kitu kidogo, hata mimi nilipitia hapo. Lakini they don't want to get the intensity of how deep the wound is, and you sit down and get into depression, tunasikia boy child, and you're getting to extremes of drugs, to extremes of suicidal thoughts, those places. So we are having this show today to be a light to someone else, that yes, you can have someone you can talk to, and it wasn't even your fault. Most of the time it was not your fault. And even if it's your fault, how do I overcome this and I can have a normal life after this? Like when I lose spouse, you're like, I cannot survive after this. But there is a solution, and that's why we are here today. So how do maybe I lost a job. Even the biggest part is getting my identity after loss, because sometimes you think you are some assured of your losses together. And today, even Bishop Carson was saying, you are what you think you are. So I can imagine the thoughts of the losses that you are and what you're going to accumulate because of the thoughts that you have. So how do I pick up after loss, and how do I not put my identity? Like, I am that divorcee. I am that
for sure
jobless lady. I lost my job. I say maybe a job you lost it 2 years ago, but picking up after the loss. Yes.
So I believe first, before even we discuss how to pick up after loss, we must understand what loss is, and what you feel after losing. We must acknowledge the feelings first. And one thing, you've actually said something very interesting, that you cannot go to open up to someone because they tell you, I mean, this is something small. And it's because society and people have actually normalized that kind, like, pain that comes with grief and loss in everything. So people don't want to acknowledge that pain actually is not okay.
So who's to acknowledge? Me who have lost, or the society?
The society, and even us ourselves, even the victim. And use the word victim here, the person who has suffered loss. It is very important to acknowledge that it's okay not to be okay in the first place. It's okay because loss happens every day to everybody. So once you acknowledge that, now you can now start the process of now figuring out what next. But you see, people just want to fall and wake up and start running again without even acknowledging, actually, I did feel some pain. I need to, what just happened? So it is important to take a moment to figure out things like, this has happened, it has been caused by what. It's also important to acknowledge what led to the divorce, what led to the job loss, because you cannot pick up again if you've not solved, you must.
You don't sit down and reflect.
You really need to sit down and reflect ndio uweze kupick up in a healthy manner. Huwezi ignore feelings, by the way. Emotions and feelings, the moment you ignore them, they pile up to something much more bigger. Even if you'll pick up and start going again, you might not go far.
Wow.
You might not go far because you actually ignored the basics. Yeah, and actually the cause factors, they are very much important when it comes to loss. Let's take for example divorce, because divorce is something that happens almost every day. Ukienda kwa hizo koti utakosa watu hapo. But you see, divorce did not just happen in a day.
Yeah.
It is a process that led to that. Before you start now picking up your pieces and binding them together, it is important to know what broke those pieces, so that wherever you are going, it is utaenda kwa umejua yenyewe are fixed already, whatever caused these pieces to break up.
But can it be the cause of repeated cycles? Because we don't sit down and analyze what happened.
Yeah, exactly. That is what, and then we ignore, and then we normalize. You know that thing about kusema, it's like, for him, watu wanaachana daily, so what? It has happened. People are just normalizing this pain in weird ways actually. Unafunga biashara na unaenda unafungwa ingine, which is okay, but then did you even take a moment to reflect and think what actually made this business not work? Or you just woke up and next ni kusonga kuna masaa. So it is important to understand what loss is, and also to reflect and actually know what really caused that loss.
Is there like stages, like when you have loss of a beloved by death, there are stages of grieving?
Yeah,
there are stages of loss, like the failure, loss of business. Is there like a stage?
I believe there are stages of loss, because unless it's a crisis, you know, there's those losses that come if kama seme nyumba umejenga nyumba poa alafu imeshika moto, all of a sudden you've lost everything. That is a sudden loss, which can actually have a sudden trauma, on someone.
In such a loss, I still need to sit down and analyze.
Well, that one is just a tragedy. Remember, it's just like an accident. You did not see it coming, did you? But you know, the other losses that you actually see them coming. Yeah. So when we are talking about loss, we must differentiate. Are we talking about death here, or are we just talking about loss of material things? Because those are two different things in this scenario.
Yeah. It's failure.
Yeah.
But have you ever seen someone have a repeated cycle? They tried a business, it failed. Tried a business, it failed, and like, mimi may give up. It's like, it's not for me.
It happens. It happens.
Yeah.
And failure is part of the journey. I believe it's just part of the journey.
How do
you cannot beat yourself all the time because you failed a number of times. Yeah, you don't need. You just need to, as we've said, first of all, there is the aspect of being spiritual. You also need to invoke the Holy Spirit and God in your things. Si ati kila siku ni kuanza biashara na hata ujakaribisha Mungu kwa maisha yako kwanza kidogo, so that he can be part of your journey. So it is very much important to have a spiritual life when you are doing anything in life, whether it's marriage, whether it's business, whatever you are doing, it is important, because that is a coverage. You cover yourself from the beginning.
Okay. Wow, that's amazing. So how do I pick up? Where do we even start? I've lost the businesses, or I've lost the relationship. Many of the time we start blaming ourselves. This is out of experience, out of, I don't know if it's everyone's journey, but they tend to think, why did I not see this coming? Why did I not prevent it? How did I not did I give it my best, this marriage, for it to work? From blame game to now walk the journey of healing. Yeah,
I believe, this is what I believe. Now this one I'm talking as an expert in psychology.
Yeah.
We normally say, and especially in counseling, everything starts with breaking the silence. You must talk about something that has happened to you, because the moment you remain silent, you will not even start the healing journey.
Okay.
You must speak up, you must break the silence, you must actually acknowledge, before you even accept, acknowledge the pain. Have someone to talk to, and even if it means to cry with them. Talk to someone, because the moment you talk to someone, and that's why therapists like us exist, because we always open, our doors are always open for people to come and speak to us. So speak, and you see, once you speak to someone, that is now where everything now starts making sense.
Yeah.
Because you say two minds are better than one. The other person will start showing you, by the way, Uja failed, you actually won in this. This is something that didn't work. But you know, when you're alone, just seated, you'll blame yourself for everything. hata yenye haikuwa makosa yako. Imagine utajipata tu ni unajiwekea lawama, and the world is moving on. Remember, when you are all doing that to yourself, the world is not stuck still for you to heal. Yeah, the world is moving on. So the person who actually probably hurt you or led you there, alisha ako mbali.
Hai, juzi ulikuwa umeweka kwa status ukaandika time heals. Does it heal?
That's arguable. I did think time heals, and in this manner, spiritually, actually someone told me, if time heals, why did it take 12 years for the woman in the Bible to heal? It's faith that heals, because it was not until 12 years that she touched the cloak of Jesus that she healed. So it's arguable. It's an arguable conversation whether time heals or not. But I do think with time one learns.
Okay.
And when you learn, then I think you start figuring out life in different dimensions, and you develop different perspectives. Everything, you know, everything starts from the mind. Kila kitu ni hapa. The moment you get to see a different perspective of an aspect of life, hata unajionanga uko mjinga, uko zile seriously, I was stuck there for all this while I could have used this route. Everything starts with talking to someone, so that your mind is broadened enough to see from a certain aspect from different perspectives. Do you believe in the power of speaking? Do you believe in seeing therapists? Because as Africans, we have a problem. I know it is your show. I'm not supposed to ask questions, but I really have to ask you this because you are in the medical field, and I've come across many people actually discouraging me, even in my area. Unataka kukua therapist? Ushaiona Africa watu wakienda kwa therapist? Are you even okay? And I'm like, okay, it's not about they come to a therapist, but I want to have the skills to even help those who want to talk, even if they are not seeing a therapist. I just want those skills because I'm very passionate about, I'm really interested in mental health. And anybody can be a mental health advocate, actually. You don't really even have to be a psychologist, but I really want that knowledge that goes beyond the norm.
You told us if we believe in counseling, and going to therapy. I don't think in this part of Kenya or in this part of Africa we have really embraced therapy, because if you can imagine how many times that you have hit rock bottom and you did not even speak to someone, like kimwanaume ama kinini, you just pick up but else you just meet a pile up of issues. Maybe you went through a loss and then the next time it comes bigger, the next time unakutana nayo unakasirika, zinakuja zikiwa zote pamoja. And in this part of Moya wana believe unaenda tu kwa maika unapiga nduru, hiyo excess pressure inaisha. But there is power of speaking, because I can imagine if you speak to your like to your peers, the kind of advice they'll give you, they have most likely they have the same mindset as you have,
for sure.
So they'll just give you what you are thinking. Yes, I believe in a therapist.
You as an individual,
and I am booking you, of course.
So let me give you a very short story. Recently, a friend of mine who is a medic, now a medic like you, and I wouldn't call myself a medic, even though I'm into mental health in that area of psychology. And we happened to have same client who had a post-traumatic, it's like she had PTSD or something. So we went to see her. Yeye alienda kufanya inachango physiotherapy ile ya kufanya mtu hivi. And then me, I went as a counselor just to talk to them. The physiotherapists, I'm not sure that is the actual word. Alifanya, I think for 30 minutes she was done and she went. She was paid. I sat down with that patient for 4-5 hours. I wasn't paid. And I didn't feel bad, but it kept me thinking I was going home. Sasa mimi nimekaa na wewe hapa, nimekusikiza.
Nakwambia thank you so much.
And the really helpful. Thank you, Mungu akubariki, umenisikiza. But you see, the other one was paid, and I'm sure it's good money. I don't know how much, for just lifting. Na kumfanya
you are lifting the mind.
Na ujue si kulala hiyo usiku, because the things she told me were like, Jesus Christ. I kept replaying the memories of everything she shared, and also me figuring out now tomorrow what can I do to help her? And that is it. And that is when I realized, as Kenyans or Africans, it is important we embrace this thing about, actually we acknowledge that counselors like us exist to help you people. Yeah, we do.
I'll make sure I pay you daktari. I will make sure.
We do. Na mwache kutuambia asante, Mungu akubariki. Even though we signed in for that somehow. When you are going to a psychology class, unaambiango na lecturer tu mapema. Welcome to a field where you'll work for free.
Yeah.
Most of the time it will be someone knows you have that skill, so they really want to talk to you. But I think passion beats everything. If you are passionate about something, I'm not saying musinilipe.
You need finances to do the passion. So, swali yangu ilikuwa, how do you get to know this is my, like, I'm enough as much as I'm going through this, not to define myself according to that loss, but to have an identity that is constant. Either there is loss, there is no loss. Either there is like this is me. Like self-esteem yako iko constant despite what is happening outside. I was thinking about Jesus. I'm wondering, how do you even afford to sleep when there are storms everywhere? Like the audacity.
I know.
And I guess we need that in life. Like storms are coming all around, but you know what? Carol is just at peace. I am just okay. This is my personality. Someone shouts at you and you're like, okay, it's okay, you just shout. But for me, I am just composed. My inner self is just good. Even after the losses and the storms around you, how do I hold my identity and my self-esteem and not get defined by people because of how much I lost? Yeah.
Healing takes time. We must agree that healing takes time. It's not a one-day thing, but healing also has its own stages. And we have already established the first stage is speaking out. Once you get to speak out and you start seeing things in different perspectives, now you can go to the second stage, where now you start now analyzing. No, Pastor David Moroki normally calls it SWOT analysis. Have a SWOT analysis of your own life and your failures. What actually happened? After that, you slowly by slowly you start now understanding that it was not your fault after all. Si wewe peke. It takes two to tangle. It took a lot there to tangle for that thing to happen. And I believe after that, now you'll start accepting. You get to the stage of accepting. It actually happened. Mambo iko vile iko. So what next? What next? Yeah. So you must allow yourself to go through several stages. Hizo si stages zenye ziko ni mob. Ni vile tu nimeziparaphrase and summarize into those. You need to go through all the stages of healing. So that you are able. But you see, you cannot heal if you've not started the first stage.
Even identifying I have a problem.
Yeah. You must identify things are not okay. And we normally say, in Voices That Heal, we say, it's okay not to be okay. If only people knew that failure is part of the journey, they would understand it's okay to feel the pain. Personally, mi upenda sana mtu akikuja kwangu, kwanza the first question namuulizanga, are you in pain? Because I can really tell pain through just looking at you.
Yeah.
So if you keep telling me uko sawa, I'll tell you go until you acknowledge that you have pain.
Wow.
Because if you can't acknowledge that this thing really hurt me, where are we going to start? What are we healing from? Yeah, and there are people who actually like starting the counseling session from reverse. Anataka tuanze, niko healed, nimekuja mi niko poa, niko healed kabisa. Na umekuja, then you start uko healed. Sawa, acha tuanze kurudi nyuma hadi tufikie penye yenyewe.
Yeah.
Just getting started, I'm not even anywhere. But it's also possible to heal alone. You don't see ati ni lazima kila time you see someone. But you know the first step is very crucial. Whether you are an introvert, whether you don't know how, you must learn how to speak up. You must. You don't really have to see a therapist, but speak up to someone. So that ukiongea ni kama sasa akili huwa sasa inaanza kukua trigger to think more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Amazing. There is so much to ask, but I want to wrap up today's show in that episode Apple. And I want us to have the next episode will be a live session, having more people and what people who want to walk the journey, who are ready to accept, yes, this is the journey that I've been and I want to heal. And I'm sure it shall be an amazing journey. Tell us about Voices That Heal.
Oh yeah, Voices That Heals is actually it's a non-government organization, a local one that was began in the year 2025 June 6th by myself and a group of young people who thought it was important to come together and create a Samaritan application or a Samaritan world where we could just help people feel safe and also provide mental health awareness and support system. And this group was began out of the need to help young people who are actually on the verge of suicide and many other issues. Nikianza kuongea kuhusu Voices, I get emotional because by the time we were starting Voices, tulikuwa tumetoka kuzika msichana mdogo sana kwa amemaliza form 4 and she committed suicide because of domestic issue. And I was just with my one of my students, Kigo, shout out, and I'm like, how long and how far are we gonna go with this thing of people just because of having so many issues?
And it's something that will be prevented.
I felt so sad that we thought it is important to bring youths together through maybe such a thing. And now we provide a safe space for them to speak. So every time we meet with them, kama tumeenda team building, sometimes we organize events that are not even necessary, but they are very necessary, but hata zina maana. We just meet somewhere with our Masai Shukas, we sit down and we get to talk, and when they speak up, we've already saved a life. So Voices That Heal is just an organization that is welcome for everybody. At first, we started as youths, but then we realized that mental health encompasses everybody. So everyone is welcome to join us. And we have God ametusaidia sasa, tumepata so many experts and psychologists, therapists, and also government endorsements. So we are somewhere, and thank you to Waziri Millicent, who is in charge of gender and the youth, for supporting us. So we are going far, and as long as we are saving one life at a day, then we are doing well. Yes.
Thank you so much. You're a blessing to many.
Yes.
And may your cup overflow.
Amen. Thank you so much. Can I ask you one question? And I think I have one question that I've thought of asking even as we wind up the show. So I just want to ask you, you answer this question according to yourself. And if it was Carol, how would you have done it? So how can someone rebuild confidence after feeling like they are failed? Now, remove someone and put Carol. How do you rebuild confidence after you feel like you have felt that you failed?
Okay. I am, as Carol,
I
am in the process. I am rebuilding my confidence by concentrating on what is my strength and giving it more lighter, more than the weaknesses. I highlight, yes, I have this weakness, but what is my strength and put more on it, because of course I have a weakness. But this strength that I have, like I can talk, I am bold, like ukinirusha bezi yoyote nitaongea. This is my strength. How can I use this voice and boldness that I have to just do what I do? Okay, so just concentrating on my strength.
That's amazing. Empowering yourself through strength. Ladies and gentlemen, it was nice having you. It's your show.
We are
welcome. Wrap it up.
That's all for today's show. See you next time. Shall be live, shall be amazing, and we shall learn. Bye.
Bye.